All right, let's hear it for the Buffs and the Tigers as they make their way out in the field. And the Wanderers, the win over Districts here, 115 to 101. Great game of footy, very hot game of footy. And just a reminder, round 8 is the Towards Zero road safety round, dedicated to getting to that number, Towards Zero. And you'll notice all the players wearing yellow armbands here this evening, and the captains wearing the number 0 in support of the Towards Zero campaign. Now we do have the Towards Zero team here this evening. Thank you very much for being here and supporting. The kids are running around with a whole bunch of Towards Zero merchandise. It looks great. And you can actually see them out the front of the Michael Long Centre. So if you want to head on over there, have some fun with the handball, trying to get it through the target, see how you fare. And with Towards Zero, the road safety round, today we commend all the teams for supporting road safety in their community and pledging to drive safely. So together our goal is 0 deaths and 0 serious injuries on NT roads. So you can find out more information by visiting towardszero.nt.gov.au. Our final game here this evening, the Nightcliff Tigers and the Darwin Buffaloes. We're going to get Hector, the road safety cat, out on the field. He's going to do the coin toss. And with Hector this evening, the Honourable Eva Lawler. And if you're only just joining us here this evening, it is the Towards Zero road safety round. We're doing the coin toss for the Tigers and the bus, with the Tigers winning the coin toss and Hector, the road safety cat, doing that for us with the Honourable Eva Lawler. You'll notice the captains are also wearing the number 0 here, and all the players are wearing yellow armbands.
Them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think first use through there is going to be super important. As you said, Archard's been good in the ruck. The Tigers, they've been doing okay with kind of makeshift ruckman. I love Marley McGregor's game last week. Just gives everything. Bowles goes in there, but with all due respect to both of them, and both of them, we'd be quite happy to say that they're not, you know, genuine, legitimate ruckmen, and they're just filling their role in the team that they need to do at the moment. So absolutely, if you can get Archard, who's a genuine ruckman, who's in good form, that can get first use to his midfielders and get it into their forwards, you know, with some clean entry, they'll give themselves a chance. But around the ground, Nightcliff set up really well, and it's going to be important that, I think, other than, you know, Buffalo's just playing on instinct and their ability, they're going to have to structure up really well to combat the way that Nightcliff sets up.
Nightcliff's defence been very strong, so even if you do get the ball out of that midfield really, really well, they're just running so well down there. And Shannon mentioned it before, Nathan Brown, former captain of the team, played on Eddie Betts last week, a challenge and a half. He could hold his head up really high for the way that he took that on, but he offers such great leadership and such great direction down there, doesn't he? Yep,
you've got Brown, who's got the experience, Bowles, who goes back there. You've got Nyhouse with the AFL experience that's gone back, you know, down into the back line. But for me, young fella, Jamie Jones, I think he's 17 years old. He won the Rising Star, I got the Rising Star nomination during the week, I think. Speak to people around the club at Nightcliff and around the State Academy. He's somebody that if he doesn't go anywhere else, he'll end up being a 10, 15-year player at the club, and he's just really committed. He's a great kid, and I think having that leadership and that culture with the Islets and the Wills and the Browns down there has just been super for him.
Players moving into position now, and of course round 8 here in the NTFL is Towards Zero road safety round. 2 innovations we can see very clearly here tonight. Instead of the 50-metre arc, we've got the 500-metre arc, which is just showing how many injuries there are each year on the road, to go with the 41 deaths on average. And the other innovation tonight, the 2 captains, Jared Stokes for the Darwin Buffaloes and Philip Wills for the Nightcliff Tigers, each of them has the number 0 on their backs. Also the armbands, they're playing with yellow armbands, both teams tonight, so some real efforts being made in that regard to highlight Towards Zero. Just waiting for the umpire now. Players in position. Ben Archard in the middle, lining up against McGregor. The play's underway. Nightcliff win the ball initially from the ruck contest. Coming away with it is Charlie Sharples for the Buffaloes. Little handball came from Jackson Clark. Crashing through was McGregor. Clark got another handball away. Buffaloes away there through Thomas Clark. A kick up towards centre wing. Beautiful play there through the midfield. Collinson couldn't handle. Philo gathers now for the Tigers. There's a turnover in the middle of the ground now. Players pursuing the ball close to the boundary line. Sean Wilson just outbodies his opponent in Cater Barler easily. Flicks it out there to a teammate in the form of Bailey Edwards. Long kick down to Emery. Takes the mark in the right forward pocket. Good grab, but a good kick too. There came from Edwards, and Emery just getting up a little bit gingerly there, holding his left side or left hip. Not looking too comfortable, takes 2 steps, goes with the banana. That was rather undisciplined. It's gone right across the face of goal. Trent Melville couldn't take the mark. Edwards in there again. Handball now back to Melville. He'll go with the snap from 45 metres out and puts that straight through the middle. They've gone for 1 minute and 4 seconds. The Tigers on the board through Trent Melville. And he runs over to Kyle Emery just to check his teammate, who's still struggling behind play.
Yeah, it started up here at half-forward flank, just with Sean Wilson, just manhandling Cater Barler, just shifted him off the line of the football, got it out. Nice kick in. Emery was caught out of position there, but was able to work across. Took a bit of a knock on the hip or the ribs there. Kicked the ball across the face of goal. And we talked about Melville a few years ago. Kicked 5 goals in the grand final, and and a Cheney medal. So he's kind of a bit of a foil lately. So good for him to get on the scoreboard.
Back in the middle. McGregor, heavily strapped right calf, going up against Archard. Archard now gets a tap forward. It's now going to be stolen by Brodie Philo. He just kicks it up hurriedly to the 50, forward 50, but it's going to be picked up by Darwin Buffaloes and kicked out of their defensive 50. Lovely chest mark there in the end. Left back pocket for Clark. He goes down the wing, looking for Archard, and McGregor gets a touch to it, so he gets a couple of high fives as the ball goes over the boundary line, and the ball will be tossed directly underneath us on the commentary wing. Important touches he gets, McGregor. Very, very smart player, especially with the lack of height.
McGregor in that ruck contest, it cleaned both of the ruckmen. Neither of them could get a touch on it. Now tackles being laid in the midfield. Nightcliff with ball in hand. Little handball comes out to McGregor. Pops a nice one over the top for a teammate there in Thomas North. Ball delivered up into forward 50. Is that a mark or did that bounce? No. On the full. Nice little kick came from Nyhouse. Melville taking that 52 from goal. Went to chip it. Man on the mark did a magnificent job. Managed to smother it. Reece Holmberg plays on. Now a nice little chip from half-back comes up towards Thomas Clark. Well known for his rugby league exploits. Kicks out wide, goes to Collinson on his left boot now. Snaps that around nicely up towards half forward. Bowls underneath it. Couldn't take it cleanly. Sambono soccers it in front of himself. On the chase there is Deary. Sambono manhandle just knocked out of the way. Now the handball comes through the back pocket region, and the Nightcliff Tigers just assert their strength again as the Darwin Buffaloes tried to surge forward. Out of bounds, 35 metres around from the Buffaloes' goal in that left forward pocket for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, just good pressure around the contest at the moment, Darwin Buffaloes.
McGregor gets in front. Archer, though, he gets a hand over it. Trying to get it out of their back 50 is the Nightcliff Tigers. Sean Wilson gets it off and he gets it to Jones. Jones goes to the outer wing. Now it's in the middle of the park. Streaming through, Nightcliff Tigers go up. The only man in the forward 50 is Emery. Great spoil from behind, but it only goes as far as another Nightcliff Tigers player. Great defensive work has been done. And the Darwin Buffaloes under all sorts of pressure, but Emery, one out, is the only one in the forward 50, and that was a quick transition.
He was, and I'm really looking forward to Kevin Moroney. You spoke about the good spoil from behind. That was him. He's only a young fella, but he's been holding up that Darwin Buffaloes back line.
Archard up against McGregor again. McGregor from the back wins it, but a free kick from the contest. And it will go to the Nightcliff Tigers. The midfield umpire gave the free kick, so at 60 from goal, McGregor to take the free. Handball's off to Brodie Philo immediately. He's put under a little bit of pressure. Lovely kick inside 50 and finds Melville on the lead. Had 2 metres on his opponent, and that is more than enough. He's taken that mark with the arms outstretched, and he will kick on goal from about 40, right of centre, grandstand side, kicking towards the airport end. Has 1 goal already kicked at the 1 minute mark, and at the 5 minute mark an opportunity for his second. He's a lovely kick of the footy, deliberate approach, kick on its way, gives the goal umpire a lot of work to do. The commentator's curse worked beautifully on that occasion, and it's 1 behind on the scoreboard. So the Nightcliff Tigers 1-1-7. The Darwin Buffaloes yet to score. We've gone 5.5 minutes in this first quarter.
Bradley Stoke, quick kick in, goes into the left back pocket to Bolt. Bolt goes for a run. Lovely work from his captain, who gets a shepherd in, but Bolt goes straight into Bowles. And this is another Nightcliff Tigers that's kicked a player on the mark. So a turnover now. Darwin Buffaloes up into the forward left pocket. Sambono dropped a very, very tough mark. Paddling it forward was Aaron Stokes. And he's been dispossessed by the Nightcliff Tigers, who just thump it down the commentary wing. Sean Wilson running backwards gets a handball. Another over-the-head handball. And Nightcliff Tigers, not able to find their mark. Just a little bit short with the kicking at the moment, both sides. Nightcliff Tigers, though, come away. They come away through Harper in the middle. Ball bouncing. Handball over. He just handballed to himself, didn't he? North in the end. Then he kicks it up to centre half forward. Ryan Moo's caught behind, but he's hassled by 2 Darwin Buffaloes player. And the umpire's going to say that Ryan Moo was taken high. And it's the outer wing. He's going to go quickly into the forward 50.
Kicks quickly indeed. 3-1. The Buffaloes are going to win that contest. Little chip kick comes out from the contest, looking for the ruckman in Archard. Ball bounces twice in front of him, picks it up beautifully, delivers it into the midfield, goes to Jared Stokes, peels off a nice little handball for a teammate there in Remfrey. And his kick was poor, cut off there by Jamie Jones. Goes across half back now. Finds Bailey Edwards. Had a good game last week against the Palmerston Magpies. And again out wider still to Thomas North. Another free kick given here. And the free kick this time, there'll be turnover now, and it's gone to the Darwin Buffaloes. A poor kick over the head, clearly, of the player at centre wing. Gee, I tell you what, if this was the AFL, that would have been an instant 50. So the Darwin Buffaloes now running in numbers. Play on is the call. Long kick as they ran around the man on the mark. Getting in front nicely there for the Darwin Buffaloes was Adam Sambono. Couldn't take the mark. Ball spills to Collinson. Wheels it off to Gordon. Has a mighty left foot. Tries to find Sambono. Player in McGregor went for the mark and dropped it. Sambono puts the pressure on. He's being outnumbered here 3-1. Buffalo still putting on the pressure. The ball pushed out of bounds. Unfortunate there for Deary. Was chasing it close to the boundary line in the left forward pocket, and the ball came off his body. And the Darwin Buffaloes win a boundary throw-in.
Deep in their attacking pocket. They're still yet to score. 8 minutes gone in the opening term. Archard up against McGregor. Archard gets a very short ball, taps it behind. Picked up for the Darwin Buffaloes. Hurried kick forward. And there's a snap and it goes straight across out of bounds. Very, very messy work. They had it down there in their forward 50 Darwin Buffaloes, and they're just not able to find the big sticks at the moment, Brenton.
I think it was Dylan Gordon. I don't know. Yeah. You don't know if you could have done that if you tried next time. But was right in front in the goal square and kicked it across the face.
So Nightcliff now on the rebound. Ball in the hands of Deary. Good, strong player he is. Kicks down the line now from the right back pocket. No mark taken here on centre wing. Ball off hands. Trent Melville gathers it beautifully. He's good in the air, good on the ground. Finds a teammate in the form of Politis. Really open forward line here for the Tigers. Emery's there. So too his opponent in Moroney. Emery pushed the ball into his advantage. Socketed off the ground as Moroney dived. It's gone straight through for a goal. What a goal that was by Emery. And the Nightcliff Tigers, they didn't need much. They're 2 straight. In fact, 2-1-13. The Darwin Buffaloes are yet to score. Thank you to Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
Just on your call, Dom, you called it. Nightcliff are just outnumbering at every contest there, and every chance they get to go into an isolated forward down there, they do it, and they seem to be going okay. You can't blame Kevin Moroney. He was doing everything right on that occasion, dived for the football, just couldn't get his hands on it. But the impressive part of that play, it was Melville. He's your full forward, your last goal kicker. He was up on the wing, you know, getting his kick. So I think that's going to be a really important dynamic for the Tigers.
Harper in the middle now for Tigers, but it is Archer who wins the tap. The tall man gets it going forward, but it's going to be the Nightcliff Tigers that pick it up. Philip Wills, their captain, has it in the middle of the park. He goes up to centre half forward. Sean Wilson gathers it around his bootlaces. The veterans still got it. Now inside their forward 50. Under pressure, the Darwin Buffaloes, they're holding up just at the moment. And it is going to be Bradley Stokes who's giving a lot of pressure here. Still Stokes, that's Jared Stokes, the captain, that picks it up, and there is a hurried kick going the wrong way from Sharples, and there gets a touch from the Nightcliff Tigers, so the ball's going to have to be tossed in about 15 metres around from the left post, going towards the airport end, the right of your dial on the radio. They're under a mountain of pressure, the Darwin Buffaloes defenders.
10.5 minutes gone here. Archard wins the ruck contest down. Players surrounding this footy, diving in on it. How does the umpire see it? He says, I will have it. 15 metres out from the Tigers' goal face. 13 plays 0. Ball comes down here to Thomas Clark. Somehow gets rid of it. Footy scoots out the back. Eldridge gathers it. Off to Moroney. Moroney, dangerous kick. Comes off hands. Sharples gathers. High up and under for him. Players contesting it here at centre wing. Just bounces in the clear. Nyhouse comes through. Did really well to get the ball off to McGregor. Handball comes to Bowles. Bowles off to McGregor again. He's in everything, McGregor. And taken high, surely. And the umpire says, I will have that. That was Emery right in the action. He butted up beautifully there, took the ball strongly. I thought he was taken high, but the umpire said, all good. And they'll toss it up quickly.
Archer gets a tap down. No one else went up, but the ball was on the ground. McGregor just boots it forward. Emery picks up a bouncing ball in the right forward pocket, and this time he's going to get a free kick for a high.
Yeah, just a bit sloppy there by the Buffaloes player.
Yeah, Moroney probably should have got a free kick before that, Emery, but now he's going to have... It looks like he's going to go for goal here. He's he's right on the boundary.
You're going to do it to him, Dom.
I am.
He's going to have to kick it 51 metres. He's now on the fence. Emery comes in, crosses the boundary line, crosses the 50 metres. He's got the distance. It goes all the way, but it isn't able to even bother the scorers, and it's out on the full.
Great work, Dominic.
The commentator's curse working again. Well, Emery's in the game, that's for sure. He's not letting that hip complaint, whatever it was, bother him too much. Darwin now on the move. Jared Stokes with the number 0 on the back, giving instructions there from half-back. The ball kicked up to half-back. Looking out wide there for Reece Holmberg. He can't gather. The ball taken out there by Kader Bala. And handball missed the target. And out of bounds out there for the Darwin Buffaloes. Brendan, just not handling it cleanly at the moment?
No, I think both teams now, the dew might be settling in, the humidity, and it's really slippery out there at the moment. But I think the Darwin Buffaloes, what they did on that occasion, they need to do more of it. Take the game on, try and affect the switch and try and spread the defence a bit.
Philip Wills, the captain, got it running through the pack after that throw-in. Going to Emery at the top of the square. Emery lets it bounce over his head. Emery lets it go through, and Philip Wills will be credited that goal from outside 50. He was looking for Emery at the top of the square. Emery knew the flight and the travel was right on target. He just bumped out Moroney, and the ball went through for a goal for their captain. It's the third for the evening for the Nightcliff Tigers. They're 3-1-19, leading the Darwin Buffaloes yet to score. 13 and a half minutes gone, opening term.
That pressure just continues to build. Buffaloes are really struggling to get consecutive chains of possessions. Every time they receive it, there's a Nightcliff player on them, or every time they look up, there's a Nightcliff player sitting in some space. So Nightcliff just really continuing to pour on that pressure.
Well, what a start here by the Tigers. Back in the middle now, Archer up against McGregor. Archer wins it down. Jared Stokes pushing his way through, took the ball with him momentarily. Now Jamie Jones tries to take it off him from half-back, push the ball right up to centre wing. In fact, at left half-back they are. Jamie Jones with the headgear on. Again, another who played a very good game against the Palmerston Magpies last week. Ruck contest here. Players milling around the footy. McGregor in the action, gets a quick kick away up towards centre wing. Brodie Filo had the ball knocked away from him, went back in and regathered. Seems to have all the time in the world. Long kick up towards attacking 50. Kyle Emery in front of Moroney again. Ball bounces nicely for Emery, taps it to a teammate and then tapped it through his legs. Edwards it was. Edwards comes back in and gathers it. Now drills a pass to Sean Wilson. He was on the move early from the corridor and takes the mark 35 metres from goal. And Emery just says, now just steady and go back and have your kick at goal. 40-degree angle, 40 metres out. Let's see what the man with the number 33 on the back can do for the Tigers. Sean Wilson wastes no time at all. Maybe he should have taken a bit more time given that kick. Veers off to the left-hand side, and it is a minor score for the Tigers on the Tyre Power scoreboard. And kick straight, as Sean Wilson should have done. Kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. That scoreboard moves to 3-2-20. The Darwin Buffaloes yet to score.
And Bradley Stokes kicked it in quickly, found Bala. Bala on the right back pocket, goes out to the outer wing underneath the flags that are flying at the moment. Slight breeze towards the Nightcliff Tigers. They're still on the outer wing. Chess mark finds an unmarked McDonald. McDonald just holds it up. He just gives off a handball to McKenzie. McKenzie thumps it up to the forward 50. And there's going to be a free kick. And that's a hold going towards Darwin Buffaloes. And that's going to be Roberts who gets a free kick. He's directly in front. He's going to have to kick it about 40 metres. He's gone back a long way. He's gone into the centre square at the moment. Man on the mark is 40 metres directly in front. And Roberts lining up for Darwin Buffalo's first goal of the evening. A very slow walk in from Roberts. Now goes into a slight jog, crosses the 50. The shot is on its way. It's got the distance. The Darwin Buffaloes players like it. They all converge. And that is good to see. So they get their first one on the board. They still trail by 14 points, 16 and a half minutes gone, opening term.
Very much needed goal there by the Buffaloes. Luke Roberts, only a young player. I think he's about 19, 20 years old, formerly from the Palmerston Magpies. Highly skilled individual. Good to see him get on the board there. But I mentioned it earlier, the few forays that they've gone forward where they've had a scoring opportunity have come from switch opportunities. So I think the more the Buffaloes can try and, open up that outer side of the field and go forward, the better chance they're going to have of going into their forward line.
SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse here this evening. Round 8, the Tigers up against the Buffaloes. Ball tossed high in the middle. Again, Archer wins it down. Comes the way of the Buffaloes. Chain of handballs in midfield. Getting himself out of trouble initially was Remfree. Now out wide through the Tigers. They take possession, kick up towards half forward. McKenzie couldn't trap it for the Buffaloes. Melville got it for the Tigers. Now it's turned over again. Comes away through Holmberg. Long kick up towards centre wing. Good mark taken down there by Nathan Russell. Centre wing. Wheels off to Philo. On the left boot. Tried to find Moo. Little push in the back by Abala. And he's awarded the free kick at centre half back.
Kicks it to the right outer wing. Misses who he was looking for. Players now converging around it. Darwin Buffaloes have a number of players over on the outer wing, but it's going to be the Nightcliff Tigers that turn it over. They come back into the middle of the park. They find an unmarked Harper. He's got a lot of space. Just looks up. He finds an even more unmarked man in the left forward pocket. And that is just too easy at the moment. Politis in the right forward pocket, and the players are just lining up at the moment.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 spares in the corridor where it come in, where Harper had kicked it in. There was Brown and a couple of others sitting in there, and plenty of options going forward. Politis was in 20, 30 metres of space.
He's on a 45-degree angle, kicks it from 45. He's got the distance, but he doesn't have the radar on tonight. That goes right across the goals, and it's going to be a behind. So they move to 21.
Bradley Stokes brings the ball back into play. Dangerous kick to the captain in Jared Stokes. Hot on his hammer was Sean Wilson, but he took the mark. Now gets it off to McKenzie. McKenzie to Bradley Stokes. A little chip from him back to McKenzie. So Lachlan McKenzie camped in the back pocket. Now switches it across to Gareth Remfree. Now they look good. Room to move on the outer side. Through the right back pocket now. Thomas Bolch goes on a run. No one really protecting him. Kate Bala waiting for the footy. Uses it poorly. Luckily for him, picked up well there by Liam McDonald. Goes back out wide now to Bolch. Spearing pass is just going to get picked off here by Jamie Jones for the Tigers, and he just keeps on running after taking the mark. Sprints all the way to centre wing. Long kick down towards centre half forward. Underneath it, McKenzie for the Buffaloes. Manages to chop it off beautifully. Gets it to Archer. Archer to Jared Stokes. Stokes to the run of Moroney at centre wing. Moroney steps around an opponent. Stops and props. And then kicks really poorly into the middle of the ground. Turnover immediately goes there to Bailey Edwards. Edwards the long kick. On the lead, Emery. Had 3 metres in front of his opponent. Takes the mark. 40 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle. That turnover, costly, Brenton.
Yeah, no good, and just coming back inboard when they probably should have just stayed out wide. But the way that Nightcliff set up across the ground, across half back, the opposition look up, and Nightcliff aren't 1-for-1 with opponents. They're covering the most dangerous space, taking away those release options and allowing the chasers and tacklers to put pressure on the ball carrier.
Kyle Emery now has 1 goal to his name. 1 goal, 1 out of bounds on the full, and 1 missed kick. What can he do? 45 out. He's kicked that poorly. That's through for yet another minor score for Kyle Emery. 1 goal, 2 this evening. On the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts at the 20.5-minute mark of this first quarter.
Bradley Stokes is finding it easy kicking in at the moment. He goes to the right back pocket to Bolch. They go again on the outer wing. It's been working for them so far. Moroney's just come from the field limping. Keep an eye on that. Abala gets it over the top. Bolch kept on running. He goes inside, inboard now. Darwin Buffaloes up to forward 50. And there is not able to be taken a mark, but great pressure there from Aaron Stokes. Ball kicked forward. It's not going to be a race here. It's going to be kicked off the ground, and it's hit the post, and it's been socced down on the ground by Gordon, and he thought he had a goal. It was a race to the ball at the goal square, and Gordon's kicked it, but it's hit the post as it went through, so they've picked up another behind. It's 22-7. 21 minutes gone in this opening term. Hope you're enjoying SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. It's the Nightcliff Tigers at the moment.
Tigers now with the ball in hand in the right back pocket. Morris Rioli grandstand side. Long kick now down centre wing. No mark taken, comes off hands. McGregor gathers close to the boundary line, goes with the booming right boot. Not as booming as he would have liked it to have been, out of bounds on the full. Gives the Darwin Buffaloes a moment to reset here as we see Politis coming from the ground. Bradley Stokes now to take the free kick for the Darwin Buffaloes. Just in between half back and back pocket. Little chip inboard goes to Isaac Seaton-Kunoth. And his kick goes dangerously into defensive 50, goes to Holmberg. He's wrapped up in a tackle. This is just too easy. Ryan Moo gathers the footy. Trent Melville's wandered down towards the goal square, takes the mark through the goal square, chips it in for another goal. Trent Melville has his second. And that scoreboard not looking good for the Darwin Buffaloes. Nightcliff moved to 4-4-28. The Darwin Buffaloes 1-1-7. We've gone 22.5 in this first quarter.
I was just thinking they were doing all right to hang in there, the Darwin Buffaloes, but Seaton-Kunoth, just a risky kick across ground. The decision was okay, but the execution wasn't there. It was a 3-on-1. It didn't hit his opponent, his teammate. The Nightcliff players swooped in, and you've got, little buzz-around players that annoy you. Ryan Moo's down there. They don't need too many chances, and Trent Melville in a paddock of space in the goal square.
Back in the middle. Late in this opening term, McGregor up against Archard. Archard gets it, and it's going to be picked up beautifully and just driven out. Huge, booming left kick. Emery at the top of the square, and he's not able to take a mark. Goes through for a behind. They just really have that luxury of Emery and Trent Melville just rotating in that full forward line as well. It's confusing the defenders, isn't it?
And then you've got Moo and Wilson too playing interchangeable roles.
Mackenzie now bringing the ball back in for the Darwin Buffaloes. Kicks out wide looking for Bolsch. Took the mark and took off. Good play. But at quarter time here on SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse, it is the Nightcliff Tigers with 9 scoring shots to 2 in that quarter. The Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts, it is Nightcliff 4-5-29. The Darwin Buffaloes 1-1-7. We'll be back with you after this break.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
Each year, around 43 people die and around 500 are seriously injured on our roads. Every club, every player, every spectator knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
0 is more than just a number, it's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on territory roads isn't a one-person job. Like in footy, on the field we play hard, but always have each other's backs.
On the road, it's the same.
We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
This Saturday, we will be wearing the Zero Guernseys and yellow armbands with pride.
To honour those lives lost on our road and to raise awareness of road safety.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better, and I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Here for the quarter-time break. Nightcliff Tigers back out on the ground. The Darwin Buffaloes in their huddle being addressed by the former Hawthorn player, their coach now in Cameron Stokes, giving them some definite instructions there as to what he wants them to do. They need to hit the scoreboard. That's certainly one of the things they need to do. And that scoreboard reads at the moment 4-5-29. Nightcliff Tigers to the Darwin Buffaloes 1-1-7. Earlier today, Wanderers defeated Southern Districts 115-101. And even earlier today, Waratah taking on the Tiwi Bombers. Well, Waratah 140 to the Tiwi Bombers 42. Yes, you did hear that correctly. 140 to 142. So not good there for the Tiwi Bombers. But right in front of us here.
Maybe we can chat about that at half time.
Yep, indeed.
Former Tiwi Bombers coach sitting with us.
And Waratahs. Coach both those sides.
Coach both the teams. So right in front of us here, though, second quarter about to get underway. Darwin Buffaloes, what can they do? Need to get stuck into this second quarter. Archard up in the middle, up against McGregor. Won it down easily. Jared Stokes scoots away, takes possession, runs his full measure, has a crack at the goals, and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well, that looked exciting out of the midfield. That's what they've got to do, win their possession there. But, Brenton, to say the least, they've got to kick straighter than that.
But you mentioned that matchup before the game, the McGregor-Archard, you know, sort of the non-sort of traditional ruckman against the other. And we're just seeing it just free-flowing. Either one of them wins it or it just goes the other way. There's not a lot of stop-start footy going on.
Keast brings it back in. Bowles was in front. He's going to get a free kick, as Sharples was the man who infringed. Whistle going there. Harper wanted to play on, but the umpires called it back to Bowles, who is on the defensive 50 on the left. He kicks his booming left down the commentary wing. Trent Melville took a mark he probably could have taken, but it's pretty slippery out there in these warm conditions. Handball away from Jared Stokes. A big up and under, heading now towards the forward 50 for the Darwin Buffaloes. He can't get a clean handball away as Bowles. He gets it off to Aaron Stokes. He just gets it up and under for Collinson, but it's going to be turned over for the Nightcliff Tigers, and Philo just chips it into the middle of a park. He finds running away Edwards. Edwards goes into the right forward pocket. Emery was in front. Good work from Maroney from behind. Nightcliff Tigers still have it now on the forward 50. Shot on goal, and that is a booming kick. Wonderful pick up from North. And gee, he had a low penetrating kick that's gone more than 50 metres straight between the goals, and there wasn't a Darwin Buffaloes in sight within about a metre.
No, that's just worrying signs. Just really quick transition there by the Tigers. I think it was coming out of the other side. I'll pick up the player in a minute. Bailey Edwards, I think, that got it in there. But lots of options available. North there could have gone over the top to Melville. I think Emery was floating around down there. So worrying signs for the Buffaloes at the moment.
Ball back in the middle. Again, a quick start here for the Tigers. Not even 2 minutes in, a goal on the board. McGregor, as he's done all evening so far, beaten for it again by Archard. Comes down to Wills, got a handball away. Little handball comes up to Jared Stokes. Tried to go back to Archard. He flicked it off the ground, but stolen here by Moo. Got a handball away looking for Philo. Didn't find him. Free kick given. And the free kick here goes to the Buffaloes in the form of Abala. Chips backwards. Finds a teammate in Mackenzie who's been serviceable. Nice kick out wide. Looks for and finds Tyrese Raymond. Raymond on the up by hand to Moroney. Little chip out wide is not good at all. He was looking for his captain in Jared Stokes, but on the bounce out across the boundary line for a boundary throw in at left half forward for the Darwin Buffaloes.
35 plays 7 in favour of Nightcliff Tigers. 3.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. McGregor and Archer go up. Very, very shallow throw in. Tossed down one by the Darwin Buffaloes, but it's Geekus who gets the kick away after it fell at his feet. He gets it up the commentary wing, attacking side. Philo now has it. Gets it off to Emery, looking for a mark. He can't take it, but he's gone over the back. Emery just scoops it up with one hand. That's Trent Melville. Melville gets a kick to the top of the square. Moroney's there for the Darwin Buffaloes, the last line of defence. They're not out of danger yet. The handball comes back to Moroney. Moroney, they're playing with it at the moment, not able to get it out. Picked up now by Remfrey. He goes to the left back pocket looking for Bradley Stokes, and it misses him. And the ball's going to be tossed in. They're under mountain of pressure. And with that mistake, the ball will be tossed in 30 metres around left back pocket for the Darwin Buffaloes, but more attacking for the Tigers.
Now we're just in 6s and 7s. The Darwin Buffaloes defence between Moroney and Mackenzie just couldn't get clean possession and unable to clear the defensive 50.
Boundary throw in now. Archard up against McGregor. Archard, his big frame, gets in front, gets the ball away. Now the ball in the hands of Philo. Tumbles a punt into the corridor. Emery gathered. Got it away here to Edwards. Handball from him goes out to a teammate there in Roger Morris. He's tackled, brought to the ground, and a free kick for a good tackle will go the way of the Buffaloes. They've tried to play on here, but the umpire will bring the ball back to deep in that right back pocket. Can they use it well now from this position? Taking a long time to get it back to teammate here in Charlie Sharples, who has the free kick. So Sharples now, the little chip, goes to Jared Stokes, who's really trying to exert some authority in this quarter. Out wide to Jackson Clark. Little chip up, finds a teammate. That's a good mark under pressure. Well done, Luke Roberts. He was driven into the ground there by Daniel Bowles, and Charlie Sharples not very happy with him and lets him know. Luke Roberts still hasn't gotten up yet. We see here on the replay, I actually didn't think there was too much in it, but fell awkwardly.
Made him earn it, but yeah, not a lot, probably not enough for a 50 or another free kick. Genuine attempt at spoil, but just landed on Roberts. Might have, knocked the wind out.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not directly pointing at something. He might have just knocked the wind out of him.
He's looking to come from the ground here.
He did jump high.
And he
got high off the ground, and Bowles has actually landed on him, just pushed him in the back.
He's landed on the ball. That's what's happened.
Gee, he jumped high though, didn't he?
So
height.
Taking the ball from him is going to be Jackson Clark. So we see Luke Roberts, who's their solitary goal kicker in this match, the Darwin Buffaloes. He is coming from the ground, and that's what's happened. The ball was underneath him, and he landed awkwardly. Jackson Clark now plays on, kicks and finds a teammate in Isaac Seaton-Kunoth, who dropped the mark immediately. Under pressure, Kader Bala taken low down. I thought he was tripped as he had the footy, and the umpire is paying a free kick and paying it to the Darwin Buffaloes. I think a make-up free kick there goes to Abala. By hand goes back to Jackson Clark. Kicks long down centre wing. Up high was Deary. Off hands it goes to Patrick Bowles for the Darwin Buffaloes. Through strongly there was a Tiger player who will take a free kick for a high tackle. And also a 50-metre penalty. So Isaac Seaton-Kunoth mouthing off there. And to take that free kick for the Nightcliff Tigers is Christos Gikas. He will take that free kick, and a handy 50 will take him right into the corridor, right in front of goal, 25 metres out.
Definitely not what you need from a Darwin Buffaloes perspective there. No doubt Cameron Stokes won't be too impressed with the lack of discipline there shown by one of his players.
So Isaac Seaton-Kunoth has to stand on the mark here, while Gikas has his kick on goal, slightly left of centre, has the shot on goal. Low trajectory drop punt, does not make a mistake at all. Straight through the middle. And the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts, now read 6-6-42 to the Darwin Buffaloes, 1-1-7 at the 7-minute mark of this second quarter.
The Darwin Buffaloes just really struggling to get out of their back half. The way that the Tigers are setting up is forcing Darwin to kick long down the line. They're getting outnumbered at the contest. Nightcliff have got terrific players around the contest at that anyway, but they win the football back, they pump it in. They've got multiple options going forward between Emery, Melville. You see Brody Philo just goes down there and takes a bit of a rest. They've got Moo and Wilson, so plenty of goal kicking options, but they're just dictating terms and not allowing Buffaloes to play the way that they want to play the game.
Russell now in the ruck for Nightcliff Tigers, but it's Archer who gets the ball, taps it down. Great work from Russell, who's in there for Nightcliff Tigers. The ruckman just wraps up the Darwin Buffaloes player in McDonald, and the ball's got to be tossed up still in the centre circle. Archer just tries to tap it back, picked up by the the Nightcliff Tigers. Wilson tried to get a handball forward, ball still going forward. Very, very slippery ball out there. Oh, and a brilliant diving tackle on Russell. Absolutely, Bowles has just smashed him with a huge rugby league tackle.
Paid like a slinging to the ground, but the player still had the ball. Still got it.
That's a great tackle.
Sign him up for the rugby league across the road, if you don't mind. Wilson tried to get a ball in. Handball has come out for the Nightcliff Tigers. They're inside their forward 50. Players down on the ground. Archer tries to pick it up. He overruns it. Nightcliff Tigers players are just toe poking it forward. It's got to be a scoop there. That's going to be a free kick going against Nightcliff Tigers in the left back pocket for the Darwin Buffaloes. So it's a turnover, but worrying signs for Darwin Buffaloes. It's a turnover because it was an error by the Nightcliff Tigers.
Bradley Stokes now with that free kick, kicks long to the Morris Rioli grandstand wing and just falls easily into the waiting arms there of Daniel Bowles for the Nightcliff Tigers. His chip finds Sean Wilson off on his bike immediately. Long kick into forward 50. Underneath that was Ryan Moo. Charging in Lockie McKenzie did well. Little chip into the middle of the ground. Dropped by Dylan Gordon. It was good play up until then. Sean Wilson gathered. Handballed away. Now cut off. Goes to Liam McDonald in the middle of the ground. Up towards Adam Sambono. Tried to trap it. Found that difficult. Nyhouse comes crashing through, dispossessed with a good tackle, and that goes back now to Joseph Collinson, left half forward. What can he do with the footy? Collinson looking for some movement, no one really leading. Ball goes to Bolch, went straight through his hands. Now Sambono over the footy, tapped it out towards Bolch. Jamie Jones took him high. Can't tell me that he didn't duck into that, and he was taken high and wins himself a free kick. 35 metres from goal, left of centre. We'll go back and see whether he can kick the second goal of the evening for the Darwin Buffaloes. Yeah, just scrappy play and just willing the ball forward there. The Tigers unlucky to give away a free. They had the Buffaloes outnumbered, I think, 6-4 down there. They've been terrific at that all night. But Buffaloes, they'll take their opportunities when they can get it, and this is very much an opportunist goal from a free kick. So Thomas Bolch, the number 17 on his back, takes 3 steps, kicks at goal and pumps the air. He's kicked the goal for the Darwin Buffaloes, a much needed goal indeed, and it comes at the 10.5-minute mark of this second quarter. So the Tyre Power scoreboard, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, Nightcliff still in the lead, 6-5-41 to the Darwin Buffaloes, 2-1-13. It's a good sign for the Darwin Buffaloes. That play really started with Lockie McKenzie deep down in their defensive half. He was able to bring it up. Dylan Gordon, luckily McKenzie was in the area to clean up his drop mark, and they were able to move the football forward, and that's all you got to do. Get it inside your 50, put the opposition defence under pressure, and you know, give yourself a chance, and you might win a free kick.
McGregor back in the middle for the Nightcliff Tigers. Hope you're enjoying SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. McGregor gets a tap down, and it's going to be the Nightcliff Tigers that are trying to clear it. Well tackled was Bowles. He's doing a mountain of work in the middle. Coming out for the Nightcliff Tigers, dashing out, and it's only going to go as far as that man that Brenton Toy just mentioned, McKenzie, who's playing in front of Emery at the moment, and he's doing pretty well holding Emery in this second quarter.
And from out wide now, Charlie Sharples kicks long up centre wing, ball off hands. Politis gathers, looking to handball backwards to a teammate here, goes to Nyhouse. Nyhouse, little chippers, good one, and finds Brown. Right centre wing, just steadies for a moment. His chip is poor, clears Harper. He charges in at it, and charging at him was Liam McDonald. Buffaloes take possession of the footy. Archard gets it out to Bowles. Bowles here up towards a teammate in Aaron Stokes. Aaron Stokes tries to keep the footy in front of him. Basketballed it to himself initially. Jamie Jones did absolutely magnificently to keep it away from him. Now picking it up for the Buffaloes was Remfrey. Long kick down towards half forward. Offhands Collinson was fortunate. Little chip is good to Bolch. Can he handle cleanly? He can't. The Tigers come through now in their defensive unit. Bowles out towards Harper. Harper's handball was poor. Cut off here by the Buffaloes. The kick went straight into Harper's head. Bounced off towards Jones. He's dispossessed. Diving in there for the Buffaloes, Luke Roberts. Can he get the ball out? He can. In the back, surely from Dylan Gordon will be the call. No, it's not. The umpire says, I will have it at right half forward here. Good scrap by the Darwin Buffaloes. 13 minutes gone. 41 plays 13 on the TIO Power scoreboard.
Ball tossed up right half forward. Good tap down from Archard. He gets it as far as Jared Stoke. He kicks it up to the top of the square. Sambono's in there trying hard. So is Roberts, who scored a goal in the first quarter. But it's cleared out by Nightcliff Tigers. A huge up and under, and taken brilliantly by Bolch for the Darwin Buffaloes, right on the paint of 50. He's hugging the boundary, and Bolch has had a really good second quarter.
Yeah, like his game tonight, Bolch.
So Bolch is going to have a shot on goal, it looks like. He just comes inside the field of play. He gives it a thumping kick on the right, and he's missed everything. He apologises to his teammates.
Not the best approach. He sort of wasn't long. He sort of come in, you know, veered out to his left and took 2 steps to his right, and that's where the ball ended up.
Yeah, he had good height as it crossed the line and missed everything. Yeah. So they're going to kick it back in a metre from the left post.
Daniel Bowles with the ball in hand. SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. Kicks it long down towards half back for the Tigers. Off hands, good contest. Jared Stokes gathered, got away to a teammate in Moroney. Little chip finds Sharple's been in the action. Now his kick is a good one. Comes out wide. The mark taken here by Aaron Stokes. Handballs to a teammate in Remfrey. The long bomb at goal from Remfrey is straight through the middle. The Darwin Buffaloes, they are not done with. They move on to 3-1-19. The Tigers 6-5, 41, 14 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter.
It just goes to show, you know, what can happen if you just continue to put pressure on. Charlie Sharple's involved. He's got TIO experience. He's brought a lot of leadership back here to the top end. Stokes there were just able to take a mark and gave that handball off. Gaz Remfrey, if people don't know, he's from Alice Springs, played for Territory Thunder for a few years down there. Great to see him up here with the Darwin Buffaloes.
So 41 plays 19. Hope you're enjoying SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. 14 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter. Archard wins it easily. He goes up against Russell. Russell, though, got the ball down on the ground. Handball out, going to the right. Not able to be picked up. Push in the back, surely. And there is going to be a free kick to Geekus, who scored a goal for the Nightcliff Tigers. Might have been playing for it, but he got it in the end. It was there. He goes into the middle of the park. He finds Russell. Russell comes around, looking for Emery. Emery out in front. Great work from behind from Moroney. Got a tip to it, but it fell to the Nightcliff Tigers player who had a shot on goal, and it's missed to the right.
That's a point.
And so it's a...
Oh,
yeah,
unless he brings him back the 5. No, he's going to give him that second chance, but sorry, Shannon.
Yeah.
Lucky McKenzie marked it in the points and then came back and kicked it through the goals. So,
it is a point.
well picked up, Brenton.
Yep. So McKenzie with a little error there. They move to 42, Nightcliff Tigers. Darwin Buffaloes 19.
Ball brought into Jared Stokes. His kick is errant. Looking for Clark. Can't find him. The Tigers on the charge here. Harper crunched in a tackle. No free kick as he dropped the footy. Ball at centre half forward here for the Tigers. Darwin Buffaloes swarming in numbers here. Out wide now. With the footy, Thomas North looking for a teammate and finding him. Almost was Jack Regan. Couldn't take the mark. Now, coming through well there was Bolch. Out to Moroney. Little chip out wide finds Holmberg. And Darwin just releasing the pressure valve momentarily. Need to use this possession wisely now. Inside defensive 50, they kick it straight into the man on the mark, does Holmberg. Pressure comes again now from the Tigers. Edwards, been in everything, runs inside 50, runs his full measure, has a crack at the goals again and kicks a behind to the near side. So that scoreboard for Tyre Power getting a workover here. The Tigers 6-7-43. The Darwin Buffaloes 3-1-19. Almost 17 minutes gone here for SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse.
Bradley Stoke kicks it into the left back pocket, finds McKenzie. He just thumps it down to Archer. Dropped a mark. He should have taken the tall ruckman, and he's asking for a free kick, saying that he got it chopped, and the ball has been seen over the boundary by Bolch, who was in hot contested. Had two Tigers players on it. Very smart there from Bolch, just to see the safety of the...
I reckon he might have just tapped that with his shin over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full there, but he foxed his way through.
Yep.
So a boundary throw in now. Over there on the scoreboard side. Archer again setting himself. And he set himself beautifully for the shallow throw in. Unfortunately for him, his tap out went straight to Russell. Tigers coming away with it here. Mark taken by Politis, off to Bowles, who's just everywhere all the time. Handball's off to a teammate now in Deary. Has a bounce awkwardly. Ball at centre half forward. Went to Edwards, then again back to Bowles.
High
kick from him. Maroney went to knock it away, but in an untidy fashion. He's given a free kick away to Emery. He just positions his body so beautifully, does Kyle Emery. Been called back on his mark here. He was about to play on. We see Cameron Eilert down there working the boards for his team. Lovely kick out towards Melville, who takes the mark. What a well-judged mark it was. Lined up against the Bala. It's just slightly smaller than Trent Melville, and maybe that's being kind, but Melville just in such good body position, takes that mark, and we'll go back and have a crack at the goal face. Right of centre, 45 metres out on a 50-degree angle or thereabouts. Such a good player. Kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Lining up now for his third goal, I should say, in this second quarter. Kicks on goal. Kick looks good off the boot. Fades to the right-hand side. The minor score. So Nightcliff 6-8-44. The Darwin Buffaloes 3-1-19 at the 19-minute mark of this second quarter.
McKenzie gets it from the kick in the right back pocket. He just sells the dummy, goes forward and finds Clark. Clark dropped the mark he should have taken. He's got 3 Nightcliff Tigers players around him. He's still down on the ground trying to drag it back in. Now Philo gets it cleanly, goes into the right forward pocket. Melville isn't able to pick it up cleanly. Moves there. Melville kicks it off the ground, and if you don't mind, Melville gets another goal out of absolutely nothing. Moo looked like he was trying to pick it up at the top of the square, and Melville just came in and kicked it pretty much out of Moo's hands and straight through for another goal. It's the 7th for Nightcliff Tigers. They move to 7-8-50. Darwin Buffaloes 3-1-19. And for Melville, it's his 3rd for the evening.
Yeah, Philo with the entry there. He saw Melville. I was wondering what he was doing, because usually Philo within that range might have gone for goal there. But I just like the work there of Ryan Moo. He just body-lined the football and kept it in front of him and held his line. Stokes is a strong player coming through, but Moo held his line. Ball popped out the offensive side, and they were able to pick it up and goal it.
So Nightcliff really beginning to assert their authority here. Late stages of this second quarter. Archer up high, wins yet another ruck contest. Scooting away with it, Isaac Seaton-Kunoth. Kick is poor up to centre half forward. Collinson somehow managed to grab the handle of the footy. Got it away to Clark. Untidy kick inside 50. Cut off by Jamie Jones for the Tigers. He'll wheel and go out wide. And the Tiger defence will build from here. Darcy Keast took that mark. Out to Nyhouse. Nyhouse, of course, the former Fremantle Docker. As you heard Chris Buck say in his interview early on, wonders why Nyhouse isn't perhaps on an AFL list. Kick up towards Melville, leaping high, couldn't take the grab. Ball spills to Maroney at centre wing. Again out to Seaton-Kunoth. Little handball up towards Maroney. Stolen by Melville. Off to a teammate who finds Politis. Melville taken high, was he, by Maroney? No, ball spills. Jared Stokes gathers, and a free kick behind the play to be given to the Tigers, and will be taken back there at right half back by Trent Melville, who just signals, let's just steady down here at the 21-minute mark of this second quarter.
Tired players out there, and we're only in the first half of footy. Very warm day here in Darwin. Kick down the line on the outer wing. Politis was in front, but it's going to be the Darwin Buffaloes Maroney that gets a free kick. He goes quickly inside to Collinson. They're in the middle of the park. Going away, looking now for, and just going over the head of Sam Bono. Just had a bit too much on it. The ball is sweaty, very, very warm evening. Roberts is gang tackled by two Nightcliff defenders. Jones is down on the ground for the Nightcliff Tigers. Ball going forward. Jekus with a beautiful pickup in the middle of the park. Handball now out wide in the commentary wing for Wilson. He just chips it forward and finds Edwards. Edwards in the middle of the commentary wing goes into the left forward pocket. Looking for Philo, and a great defensive punch from behind from Bradley Stokes, and the ball's going to be tossed up in the left forward pocket for the Nightcliff Tigers, right on the paint of 50.
So the Darwin Buffaloes, what can they do here to withstand the pressure? Closing in on half-time. 50 plays 19. Shallow boundary throw in. Archard from the back loses this time to McGregor. Coming through well there was Bradley Stokes. Got it off to Jared Stokes. Good handball to Sharples. On the run here is Bolch. Looks for a teammate in Collinson. Was he taken high?
Yep.
Is that the call? Yes, it is too. And the umpire 60 metres away makes the call. And I think it was the right one. So Collinson into the middle of the ground. That's a good kick. Finds the ruckman and Archard. Looks to go by hand and does. Finds Bowles for the Buffaloes. On the move was Jackson Clark. He finds him. He goes further afield. Aaron Stokes. They have an opportunity here, the Darwin Buffaloes. This is the kick. Goes to Stokes. In fact, it was Sam Bono and misses him. Found his hands slightly. Just couldn't get himself in the right position. Didn't take the mark in the left forward pocket. And it's over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
But it looked good. And where that started was that run and create from Jackson Clark from their half-back, taking some risk, getting on their bike and getting up the ground.
Nyhouse putting his hand up in the defensive 50 for Tigers. He goes up against Archard. Shallow toss is won by Archard. He just puts it forward into the left. Now it's the Nightcliff Tigers that are going to clear it. Going out to the outer wing, but it's Bowles for the Darwin Buffaloes who is there. Ball now inside the Darwin Buffaloes forward 50. Getting it is Raymond. Raymond not able to clear it. This is messy play here. Good tackle from Jones on Seaton Kernoff. Now it's the Darwin Buffaloes who pick it up. Shot on goal and absolutely out of nothing. And it's the Darwin Buffaloes who pick up another goal for the evening. And that was Seaton Kernoff, who has just kicked it out of nothing. It was going every which way, but it was Seaton Kernoff. After he'd been tackled beautifully by Jones.
Oh, no. It's
Thomas Clark.
Sorry, it's Thomas Clark.
Is it? No, in fact, it's Gareth Renfrey. So he's kicked his second.
Yep.
Over in that far left pocket, Renfrey has picked up his second, and that is just absolutely out of nothing.
Just in the last 5 minutes, Darwin have looked okay. They've been able to get a quick transition through the corridor, and they've been able to go inside their forward 50 to Sam Bono. It hasn't stuck, but at least they're showing signs of opening up the game and giving their forwards some decent looks.
SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. The ball tossed up high. McGregor wins it on this occasion against Aaron Stokes. Ball still stuck in the middle here. Players crashing in. Philo got a nice handball out to Politis. He runs away from an opponent and kicks the ball up towards half forward. Underneath it there for the Tigers was Jess Buderick. As the siren sounds for half-time here at TIO Stadium, and a good half of footy in particular by the Nightcliff Tigers. The Tyre Power scoreboard, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, shows the Tigers 7-8-50 to the Darwin Buffaloes 4-1-25.
As the news came on about a single car rollover on Roper Highway and a young man dies.
It's the mechanism of the accident. You know, the fact he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, the car rolled so many times and he was thrown so far from the vehicle. He didn't stand a chance.
I just felt my heart break into a million pieces.
The feeling's gut-wrenching. It's, you lose the part of the family.
Going to see Brandon's body at the morgue, I realised that it was him.
He was stupid for not putting that seatbelt on. That's all he needed to do.
If Brando had been wearing his seatbelt,
it might have been different.
All he needed to do was put on his seatbelt.
Chuck a seatbelt on.
It takes 2 seconds to do that.
That few seconds could have saved his life.
they're not there to make your life hard, they're there to save your life.
It's the first thing I think about in the morning. It's the last thing I think about every night. That he's not with us.
Each year, around 43 people die and around 500 are seriously injured on our roads. Every club, every player, every spectator knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
0 is more than just a number, it's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on territory roads isn't a one-person job. Like in footy, on the field we play hard, but always have each other's backs.
On the road, it's the same.
We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
This Saturday, we will be wearing the 0 Guernseys and yellow armbands with pride.
To honour those lives lost on our road and to raise awareness of road safety.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely 0.
0.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be 0.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Listen up, kids.
Make school your story.
Help you succeed and rise to glory.
Safe to go to school.
So go the distance. Attend every day. Learn and listen. School holiday rockin' we love a break.
Time with friends and family is always right.
When it's time for school, don't get slack.
It's safe to go to school, can't wait to get back. So don't cut corners.
Do the full term. It's safe to go to school and it's time to learn. So don't cut corners. Do the full term. Make school your story and it's time to learn.
School returns February 2021. Written and authorised by the Northern Territory Government.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
At Buzzbuzz, keep cool this summer with our new range of frappes, including cookies and cream, chai and matcha. You can also enjoy our totally scrumptious range of food and snacks. Australian owned and operated. Buzzbuzz, great coffee is just the beginning.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, Slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energized.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal for all school-related activities. 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact CFS Gear for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Vaccinate to protect our players,
To protect our coaches.
to protect our umpires,
To protect our supporters.
to protect our game.
Head to the Danila Dilba website for more information.
Each year, around 43 people die and around 500 are seriously injured on our roads. Every club, every player, every spectator knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
Zero is more than just a number, it's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on territory roads isn't a one-person job.
Like in footy, on the field we play hard, but always have each other's backs.
On the road, it's the same.
We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
This Saturday, we will be wearing the Zero Guernseys and yellow armbands with pride.
To honour those lives lost on our road and to raise awareness of road safety.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Each year, around 43 people die and around 500 are seriously injured on our roads. Every club, every player, every spectator knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
Zero is more than just a number, it's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on territory roads isn't a one-person job.
Like in footy, on the field we play hard, but always have each other's backs.
On the road, it's the same.
We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
This Saturday, we will be wearing the Zero Guernseys and yellow armbands with pride.
To honour those lives lost on our road and to raise awareness of road safety.
Each year, around 43 people die and around 500 are seriously injured on our roads. Every club, every player, every spectator knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
Zero is more than just a number, it's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on territory roads isn't a one-person job.
Like in footy, on the field we play hard, but always have each other's backs.
On the road, it's the same.
We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
This Saturday, we will be wearing the Zero Guernseys and yellow armbands with pride.
to honour those lives lost on our road and to raise awareness of road safety.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TIO Stadium for the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season here for Road Safety Round. We are half-time of the Buffs taking on Nightcliff with Buffalo's 4-1-25 to Nightcliff 7-8-50.
Test between the Nightcliff Tigers and the Darwin Buffaloes. The Nightcliff Tigers led by 22 points at quarter time. They lead by 25 now at half time. But some enterprising play by the Darwin Buffaloes towards the end of that second quarter certainly sees them in this game. Brenton, can they continue and in fact improve on that, or are the Nightcliff Tigers just going to strangle this game away from them?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's still a little bit of depth lacking from the Tigers there. So Buffaloes, you know, they've got every chance to keep themselves in the game. That quarter, you know, they didn't, you know, do themselves any harm really there. I think there's enough there, but certainly for the Tigers, I just think their leadership between Bowles, Wills, Brown, Wilson, you know, and Melville up forward. There's just, you know, too much experience out there. Moo, he's been pretty handy. So I think Buffaloes are going to give it every shot. And Nightcliff, I think there's just enough to keep the Buffaloes at bay and make sure that, you know, that they do enough to win the game without being too dominating.
That forward power, Kyle Emery and Trent Melville, gee, they work hard, don't they? Yep. And both of them, it's not just sitting there in the goal square and waiting for the ball to be brought to them. Yep. We see both of them on hard leads, taking the footy, kicking goals. Then they're up on centre wing, bringing the ball back down again to the next one. It's really interesting to watch.
And I think, too, their chase of their opposition, defensive player as well, is super impressive. But they know that even if they follow their defensive player like Maroney or McKenzie, you know, halfway down the field, then the other one just slips into the goal square. So they have a very, very good understanding.
I just love the way that Emery leads. Like, he gets on 40-metre hard leads and he is sprinting. When he hits that ball, like, he might slow up in his approach to it, but he is going at full speed. And so when you're getting good entry in and you've got a forward that's presenting so hard at the football, he's got a terrific set of hands. He's got a great set shot on goal when Dominic doesn't put the moz on him. But sorry, Kyle. But I just love the way that he goes about it. And that's that added class. You know, I think he played at Sturt down in the SANFL. And this is the beauty of the NTFL competition. We receive these players from all around the country that add, you know, to the quality of our competition. Bowles is one of those players. Archard is one of those players, you know, for Buffaloes there. So Charlie Sharples went to Adelaide and played for North Adelaide down there. He's brought some experience back. So I just think that it adds to our competition, but some of that added class, you know, seems to be some of the difference tonight.
And down the other end, of course, you talk about ball usage and forwards. Adam Sambono's been in the clear a couple of times, a metre or so on his opponent. That's all he needs, and the ball's just been delivered a little bit too high for him. If the Buffaloes can tidy up that just slightly, we're only talking, you know, centimetres here, then Sambono's having shot after shot at goal, which will make a massive difference in this game.
Absolutely, and I was thinking about that during the break there, about the delivery to Sambono. I think it's important that we don't underestimate the pressure that Nightcliff are putting on the ball carrier. So it's not just the delivery of the Buffaloes player. Nightcliff are really causing that pressure on the opposition and forcing him to make quick decisions, and sometimes, you know, some of the execution isn't quite there.
Yep, I think one of the other things that sort of went unnoticed in our first half, Timothy Eldridge is off the ground and has ice on a hamstring, I think. So Buffs are already playing with a man down.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign. One of their speedsters, one of their very good players, not out there.
And you know what I've noticed in the first half as well? 3 times the ball has been kicked to the player on the mark. You don't see that very often in the Men's Premier League. And, yeah, I must say, twice since Darwin Buffalo's player has done it, and Nightcliff player has done it as well. So I don't know if we're going to see much more of that in the second half. But beautiful scene here, especially from the air-conditioned box. Lights on, full effect here. Local time is 12 minutes past 8. And we've just seen a beautiful red moon cross over us here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
15 scoring shots to 5 so far. The Tigers' advantage. 50 plays 25 from the middle. The Buffaloes emerge. Jared Stokes, beautiful pickup. Kick up towards Sambono, gathers it on the first bounce, handballs off to Collinson, snap towards the goal square and just fades across. Is it still in play? It is. No, it's not. Luke Roberts gathered and he faked beautifully that he still had possession of it. He got me. He was over the boundary line, unfortunately, for the Buffaloes. It'll be a boundary throw-in, about 25 metres around, right forward pocket. That's the start they wanted, though. Well, not exactly. It's in their forward line. Can they make the most of it now?
Aaron Stokes goes up against McGregor. Stokes in front. McGregor just hits it from behind, and it's going to be a free kick going to Aaron Stokes. Just because of that height difference, McGregor has actually hit him as he tried to clear that ball. So Aaron Stokes, clever move there, putting him in the ruck, the right forward pocket. And a minute has just ticked over in this third term, and the Darwin Buffaloes are looking to get their 5th goal of the evening, and this would be timely. So Aaron Stokes, 45-degree angle, but he only has to kick it 30 metres out. On the left foot, leans back, and he leans back too much, and he misses it to the left, and that is a vital shot gone missing. Darwin Buffaloes 26, trail Nightcliff 50, minute and a half gone.
Well, let off there for the Tigers. 50 plays 26 on the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts. Now the Tigers on the rebound. That's a good mark, strong mark there. Simon Deary, well played, uses the footy, uses it poorly, but more desperate for the footy there was Jack Regan for the Tigers. Got in front of Bradley Stokes and takes the mark on centre wing. Maurice Rioli grandstand side, little chip forward, goes to McGregor. Very impressed with his first half. Handballs off immediately to Philo. His kick, 50 metres, down towards Emery. Gathers on the first bounce. His partner in crime, Melville, takes the handball. He goes to Ryan Moo, the 1-2 back to Melville. Now back to Philo. Some really good premiership names there. Beautiful kick towards centre half forward from Nyhouse. Up from the defence. They've set up beautifully here, the Tigers. Now he goes towards Emery and just wraps that up magnificently. What a hard worker he is, Kyle Emery. His lead previously was in the right forward pocket. Now he's led straight up the corridor and finds himself taking the mark 49 metres from goal in the corridor.
Decent run up, Emery. He's gone back to almost the centre circle.
He's doing the Ben Brown. Ben Brown's a premiership player now. So too Emery. Different competitions, of course. So Kyle Emery looking for his 2nd goal. I make no comment. 55 metres out, dead in front, left of centre. Minor score on the scoreboard. Tigers 7-9-51, the Darwin Buffaloes 4-2-26. 3 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter.
Bradley Stokes, quick kick into right back pocket to McKenzie. He takes a bounce, sells some candy, gets a handball out to Bolch. Bolch onto Roberts. Roberts just chips it over down the commentary wing, the outer wing, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. Tigers kick it back into the middle. Jared Stokes unable to gather it. Now the Nightcliff Tigers on their defensive 50 have a number of free players. They're lining up. Brody Philo ran a good 40 metres to get it. He kicks it inside to Sean Wilson, who's unmarked as well. Sean Wilson, defensive side of the centre square, goes up towards Keats, I think it was, for Nightcliff Tigers, but it's turned over from the Darwin Buffaloes. They've got the numbers here. Ugly handball from Bolch, though it's picked up by Stokes. Aaron Stokes, that is, and he has been caught for holding the ball. And Nightcliff Tigers are going to take their time here. 4.5 minutes gone. Nightcliff 51 lead, Darwin Buffaloes 26.
Ryan Nyhouse finds Wilson. Wilson goes out wide. Tigers just building steadily here. Kick goes off to Thomas North. Kicks out wide and finds a teammate in Melville. Wheels around, goes long. Kyle Emery just shoves his opponent in Moroney out of the way, gathers the footy, snaps on goal from 25, and that is another goal for Kyle Emery. He kicks his second, and they made that just look way too easy.
Yeah, it did. It looked like the high school kid playing with the primary schoolers there. Kyle Emery just pushing Moroney off the football. But both sides, you know, just not clean with their possession. Nightcliff had an opportunity previously with Wilson going forward, made a poor decision, went to Mackenzie. Mackenzie, they were outnumbered. They had the numbers on the outside, 3-1. They were not clean with their hands. The ball turned over, and then it just come back in. And that's all you need to do is just, you know, keep that pressure up, keep those repeat entries, and eventually your forwards will score.
Back in the middle. Hope you're enjoying SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. It is a very, very warm evening here. Feels like 37 degrees and over 70% humidity, and it is 8:17 local time at night. Sean Wilson gets a clearance for the Nightcliff Tigers, kicks it up to the forward 50, only as far as Bradley Stokes, and there's a forward. There's going to be a 50 metres there. He caught it. It was tapped out of his hands. So he's going to get to run 50 metres down the field. And he runs around his opponent, takes a bounce. He's now on the arc of 50. Bradley Stokes takes a shot on goal. And just from behind was Sambono. Went for the screamer. But it's the Nightcliff Tigers that are going to clear it out. And they're not. The ball has been run out of bounds. So there's going to be a ball tossed in 10 metres on the left side post, attacking for the Darwin Buffaloes in their right forward pocket.
A little bit of Sambono magic almost on that occasion. He's had an almost night. Boundary throw in. One down by the Tigers. Ball bobbles around. Patrick Bowles tried to grab hold of it. Still bobbling around there. Bowles has been hit. And there's now a free kick going the way of the Tigers in the form of Daniel Bowles. Immediately goes to Nyhouse. Takes the mark inside defensive 50. About 20 metres inboard from the boundary. Nice little spot up kick out wide to Edwards. Now Emery on the move at half back. Kicks long up towards a target in Melville. Got one hand to it. Batted it down to a teammate. Well tackled down there was Jamie Jones, and the ball just bobbles out of bounds again. And there'll be a boundary throw in. Right on centre wing on the scoreboard side. 7 minutes gone in this third quarter. You're listening to SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse. Nightcliff Tigers in front, 57-26. The boundary throw-in's a good one. Archard wins it down. Bowles comes through strongly there for the Buffaloes, pushes the ball away from an opponent and then across the boundary line again for another boundary throw-in. The scoreboard reading 57-26. Tyre Power kicks straight with a free 5-minute safety check.
Russell for the Nightcliff Tigers is in doing the ruck work. He's going up against Archard. Ball tossed up. Archard in front. No one able to pick it up cleanly at the moment. Archard does. The tall ruckman just gets it on the boot, sends it up to right half forward. Now it's the Nightcliff Tigers under a mountain of pressure, and a great kick forward from Aaron Stokes, trying to find Sambono. Sambono not able there to pick it up. He's just trying to get on top of the Nightcliff Tigers players. All the pressure down there in the right forward pocket, and Sambono did very well to keep it in there, and players get up after stacks on. Jones is there underneath for the Nightcliff Tigers, and the ball is going to be tossed up right forward pocket for the Darwin Buffaloes. And that was better work with the ball down on the ground for Sambono.
Ruck contest one down there by Nathan Russell, taken away by Thomas North for the Tigers. Chain of handballs now lands with Politis. Little dribbler picked up by Edwards, tried to go back to Politis. Does well, Politis, butted up again, got his own footy, now kicks out wide and finds Ryan Moo, right half forward. Chips in board, the hard-running Sean Wilson takes the mark in the corridor, a player in the clear, Edwards. And Bailey Edwards doesn't even need to take the mark. Steadies from 35. Horrible banana kick off the boot. Lands. Kyle Emery just outbodied too easily on Moroney. Takes the mark 10 metres from goal. And even when it looked ugly from the Nightcliff Tigers, they made it look good in the end. So Emery, he's kicked one already in this third quarter. Lining up now for his second for the quarter. Puts it straight through the middle. He has 3 for the game. And on the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts, the Nightcliff Tigers just rattle along beautifully here. 9-9-63 to the Darwin Buffaloes, 4-2-26.
Yeah, just far too easy. Again, the Tigers just rebounding across half-back. Plenty of run through their corridor. Found some open players going forward. The snap-on goal probably wasn't the best kick, but again, Emery, he is just dominating down there, and perhaps Cameron Stokes and the coaching staff there at Buffaloes might want to consider a different matchup than Kevin Moroney on Kyle Emery, because it's definitely not working out, but I'm not sure who you go to. Moroney's a great player, and Emery's just dominating at this time.
Hope you're enjoying the action. SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. That is our expert Brenton Toy. Archard goes high up above McGregor, who's back in the ruck for the Nightcliff Tigers. McGregor, he's going to be tackled in the middle, and a big sling tackle there. And they're going to say it's mine as the 2 ruckmen get off the ground. There was a good tackle, hard tackle from Archard. Ball tossed back up in right directly in the middle of the ground. Archard wins the tap, but it's not one out of the middle by anyone just yet. Air kick from McDonald from Darwin Buffaloes. Now the captain, who's wearing 0, Bradley Stokes, picks it up. Ball kicked inside the forward 50 and waiting under it. And beautiful body work in the end from Gordon. The left footer had to get it running over his left shoulder. He did a mountain of work to body out his opponent. And Gordon is going to line up for Darwin Buffaloes' first attempt to bother the scorers in this third quarter. He's just crossing the paint of 50 now, directly in front. Gordon, the left footer, shot on goal, and it's directly over the umpire's hat. And a number of players run to Gordon, high-five him as they pick up their 5th goal of the evening. It's 5-2-32 to Nightcliff, 9-9-63 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
Great goal there by Dylan Gordon, and I think that was just Darwin just really halving the contest there in the midfield. Up until now, it's either been you win the clearance or you didn't, and at that time there, what they just did is they forced a broke even. They got another stoppage to go again, didn't allow Nightcliff to get out, gave himself a second opportunity to win it. So maybe there's something in that. Build your game, try and stop the opposition first, and then try and win your own football.
Back in the middle again, Archard up against McGregor. McGregor flew high, won it down. Sean Wilson gathers. Handball away to a teammate who tapped it beautifully to him. Wilson gathers, long handball through half forward, and a free kick given behind the play, and will be a turnover and go to the Darwin Buffaloes. So perhaps, just perhaps, a little bit of momentum here. Gareth Remfrey with the free kick. Goes out wide to Sharples. Little chip. There's a poor one from Sharples. Cut off there immediately by the Tigers. Bowles goes by hand. Back to a teammate in Thomas North. Tumbles a punt up through half forward. On the burst now is Sam Harper. Gathers close to the boundary. Went for the kick with the left boot. Came off poorly. And dribbles out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Darwin Buffaloes calling for out of bounds on the full here.
Wanting it out of bounds on the full.
But the boundary umpire is 50 metres away and will not have seen that, I'm sure. The call is made for a boundary throw-in. Kate Abala not very happy with that, but it's just the way it's going to go. Darwin need to reset here.
Ball tossed in, left forward pocket right on the 50. Archard gets the hand down. No one's able to pick it up cleanly. Number of players around it, including Regan. He wanted to go for a high Wilson gets it out. He goes for a mongrel kick along the ground. Mackenzie for Darwin Buffalo picks it up. No one forward of him, so he decides to go backwards. And the ball is out on the right outer wing. Dangerous kick back into Mackenzie's, who's at the top of the square defensively for the Darwin Buffaloes. Nightcliff Tigers manning up, but it's a beautiful timed and weighted kick to Jared Stokes, who'd run from the other side of the ground. He now decides to go down the commentary wing. One bounce finds Roberts. He scored a goal in the first quarter. Roberts gets a handball to Maroney, who's tackled heavily after he kicked it. Nilehouse is head over it. Goes again. Nilehouse just paddles it forward, and the experience of Nilehouse just sees the ball over right at the Nightcliff interchange, and the ball will be tossed in. And the Nightcliff Tigers 57 leading Darwin Buffaloes 32, 14.5 minutes gone, third quarter.
Ben Archer comes from the ground, so his place taken by Aaron Stokes in the ruck contest. Marlon McGregor works his way in front. Ball comes to the back. Remfrey for the Buffaloes could have taken it. Philo does. Wheels out a handball and goes to Edwards. Back off to McGregor again. McGregor with the right boot kick untidy, finds Jackson Clark. His handball is errant. Kyle Emery gets a little touch to it. That touch goes to Edwards. He has the shot on goal for the Tigers and puts that straight through the middle.
Yeah, it was a great finish there, but just the Darwin Buffaloes just putting themselves under pressure there. Edwards lucky he kicked that goal. He had one of his teammates standing unattended in the goal square, but took it upon himself, took the responsibility. I love McGregor's game. He might not be getting first hand on the football in the midfield, but he is definitely winning that battle around the ground between the ruckmen. He's almost an additional midfielder on the ground when he's out there, McGregor. Just a nice quick kick in, and Edwards, as we called, just ran in, had a player open in the goal square, took the responsibility and nailed the goal himself. Great work, Nightcliff.
And that Tyre Power scoreboard, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, Nightcliff now, they've cracked 10 goals. They move on a 10-9-69 to the Darwin Buffaloes 5-2-32 at the 15.5-minute mark.
Both starting ruckmen have a break. Aaron Stokes goes up against Russell. Ball just crawling forward to Darwin, to Nightcliff Tigers' advantage. And the ball's going to be tossed up after Aaron Stokes wraps up Russell in a bear hug. So it's moved about 5 metres from the middle of the ground in favour of Nightcliff Tigers. Russell gets a tap. There's going to be a free kick going to Philip Wills, the captain, after a high tackle on him. Wills just goes around the man on the mark, puts it into the right forward pocket, was looking for Trent Melville. Picked up by Moo, could have got a free for a high tackle. A lot of Darwin Buffaloes players around. Umpires are saying play on. Now comes out to the man in Raymond. Ball going forward. Ugly bounce for the Darwin Buffaloes players in Clark. And there's going to be a free kick that's given to Seaton Kernoff. And the Darwin Buffaloes looking to play on quickly here through Jared Stokes.
Jared Stokes, long kick from the midfield. His target down there, his hoped-for target was Sambono, but chipping in beautifully was Darcy Keese taking that mark. Just got himself in front, dived to the ground and took the ball beautifully. Now kicks out wide and goes to Nathan Brown. Still inside defensive 50, but on the far side. Kicks long up towards Sean Wilson, who just continues to make space. Dropped the mark that he should have taken. Ball tapped away by Maroney to Jared Stokes. Comes now to Sharples. Nice little kick from him. Finds a teammate there in Luke Roberts. Roberts pops it up. It's a hospital kick to a teammate. The ball's belted away there from Bolch. Nightcliff now take over again. Deary, his handball out towards Brown. Ball goes to Bowles. Sharples is in there, just put his body on the line, did really well. Ball comes to Luke Roberts, kick is poor. Bolts needs the body line and he does. Can't pick it up cleanly. Tigers defence working overtime out there. Long kick up towards half back for the Tigers. Ball finds the hands of Jared Stokes. Can he find a teammate? He can. And again, back to Luke Roberts, just outside, attacking 50. What can Roberts do with it? Mackenzie cruises past, runs to 55, kicks long to the goal square. Jones is up, couldn't take the mark. Gordon's there, trying to lay a tackle, trying to get the kick away, in fact. He's taken to ground, clutching an ankle. Ball bobbles around. Jones is there. The ball comes to Bowles. Again, steps his way through trouble beautifully. Got it away there to Sam Harper. By hand, it came away, and there's now a free kick. And the free kick will go to the Tigers, and it will go back to Sean Wilson on the last line of defence for the Tigers.
So Sean Wilson just puts the ball down. It gives us time to have a quick look at Gordon for Darwin Buffaloes, who hasn't been able to get up just yet, still with an ankle complaint. The umpire's just called off time and asked for the trainers to come and check Gordon because he's right at the top of the square. Just having a look at the replay. Yeah. Got it. I think he might have stood on someone's
foot.
He
might have kicked somebody.
Kicked somebody, yeah.
He's kicking the ball. He's kicked an opposition player.
So he's coming to the ground. So good news there, he's actually up. He's actually going to stay on as Wilson goes to the right back pocket and finds Nathan Brown. Brown just telling everyone to spread out. A lot of players went for him down the commentary wing, but he decides to switch play and go to the left back pocket to Jones. Jones chips it forward and finds Bowles for Nightcliff Tigers. Booming left foot down the outer wing. Goes up towards Nilehouse and he cleverly plays a player under it. He's able to pick it up, gathered, goes into the left forward pocket, and he finds Trent Melville, who takes a sliding mark. Left forward pocket, 2 metres in from the boundary, 30 metres out from goal. He's going to have to run around, and he runs around too much. Oh, no, he's gone straight through. It looked like it was going to miss everything, but that's great banana kick there from Trent Melville, who puts his hands on his head. There's a lot of tired players out there, and that's his 4th for the afternoon.
Again, what's impressed me tonight, and I've watched the Tigers a couple of weeks now, is that they are the hardest working team off the ball. As soon as that ball turns over, they've got their teammates just spreading and streaming to space. They're circulating, creating options for each other to get it. There's football karma involved. You make space for somebody else, and eventually you get the football. It was great work there by Nilehouse just to check his opponent, let the ball bounce out the back, and a nice kick into Melville for a goal.
So 11th goal there on the Tyre Power scoreboard going up. Selected Falcon tyres 25% off. Nightcliff 11.975. Leading Darwin Buffaloes 5-2-32. 20 minutes gone, third quarter.
Ball tossed high, one down by Archer, goes straight to Jared Stokes, gathers the footy, sprints away, then handballs backwards to Jackson Clark, steps nicely around Edwards, gained a few metres, got the ball to Archer, back to Jackson Clark. Little chip from him is poor, cut off straight away there by the Tigers. Turnover, handball goes to Brodie Philo, kicks long, 50 metres back in the other direction, looking for the safe hands of Kyle Emery. On this occasion, couldn't take the mark. Bradley Stokes knocking the ball out over the boundary line. SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. Good play initially there by the Buffaloes. The Tigers, though, just fighting their way through. 21 minutes gone here, 75 plays 32.
And you're right, Brenton, they've made that switch on Emery. Bradley Stokes now fitting like glue to him at the moment. Ball tossed in. No ruckman able to get it clearly. Getting it out of there is Harper. Harper has a shot on goal, and right on the last line of defence is McKenzie for the Darwin Buffaloes. And McKenzie just gets a give and go coming out of defence. He chips it forward to the forward 50. Bradley Stokes takes it. Sorry, that's Jared Stokes. Jared Stokes goes back in. And now Abala on the right back pocket, takes a bounce, looks forward, not much going at the moment, goes to 2-on-1. Seaton Kernoth was under a mountain of pressure. Clever play from McDonald from Darwin Buffaloes to dispossess his opponent, but he kicks it down the commentary wing, and there was no one at home, and Nathan Brown for the Nightcliff Tigers takes a defensive mark.
So Darcy Keast now receives that ball from Brown, goes further forward to Marley McGregor. Just growing in stature as a player is Marley McGregor. Brings the ball back inboard, goes to Edwards, who's had a really nice game here this evening. Runs around his opponent in Collinson, kicks long, just changes the angle of the footy there, finds Thomas North. He looks further forward, finds a teammate in Jack Regan. Regan now at left half forward. Man on the mark is Clark. Little chip is good. And the winger, halfback, ruckman forward in Daniel Bowles, the everywhere man. Just nice lead up the corridor, takes a mark. 45 from goal in the corridor.
And probably one of the better kicks in the competition. Field kicking around the ground, kicks in from fullback, designated kicker, cross halfback.
I make no comment as he comes into goal. Brenton. Kicks from 50.
There you go. That's why he's in the back
he
line.
has kicked that out of bounds on the full. I cannot believe it. He is one of the most beautiful kicks in the competition, and he gives himself a little slap and can't believe it.
As soon as he kicked it, though, he just put his head back. He knew.
It's funny what putting you in front of the goals does to that mindset.
Renfrey has it. Darwin Buffaloes, very, very ugly kick across to the left back pocket to Moroney, who's under a mountain of pressure. Moroney goes back to Renfrey. He's kicked 2 goals this evening for the Darwin Buffaloes. He goes out to the right back pocket to Clark, and Clark is under pressure, and the ball goes out for a ball to be tossed in 20 metres around from the Nightcliff Tigers' left post, sorry.
Just putting themselves under unnecessary pressure.
Just need to kick it, didn't they? They handballed and short kicks too much.
Boundary throw in now. The Tigers set themselves. They're sniffing another opportunity here. Ball to the back of the pack. North tried to get a kick away. Couldn't. Sam Harper laying the tackle on Patrick Bowles. And that yields an out of bounds on the full kick. Yes, I thought there might have been a free kick the other way for a moment. The Tigers having to jump the fence here, as only you have to do in the NTFL. Geekus it is. Takes his free kick. Goes backwards slightly. Tigers with ball in hand now. They whip it around. Comes to Philo just on the siren. Will Philo decide to have a shot? Yes, he is. Only Brodie Philo would decide to have a shot from here. He's got a big smile on his face. Left half forward, 80 metres from goal. No one really on the mark.
Yeah, he'll kick from right where he marked it.
And off he goes with the torpedo. I tell you what, it's pretty good. It's in the goal square, and it's knocked away by the Darwin defenders.
It's a bit slack by Buffaloes not to man the mark.
To say the least. So, 3/4 time here, and the Tyre Power scoreboard says that Nightcliff are in the lead. 11-9-75 to the Darwin Buffaloes, 5-2-32. You're on NTFL footy on SEN here this evening. We'll be back to dissect the 3rd quarter and bring you the 4th after this break.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
Each year, around 43 people die, and around 500 are seriously injured on our roads. Every club, every player, every spectator knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
0 is more than just a number, it's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on territory roads isn't a one-person job.
Like in footy, on the field we play hard, but always have each other's backs.
On the road, it's the same.
We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
This Saturday, we will be wearing the 0 Guernseys and yellow armbands with pride.
To honour those lives lost on our road and to raise awareness of road safety.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Buffaloes to separate from their huddle, and it is the Tigers who are in charge in this game. They led by 22 points at quarter time, 25 at half time, and they've now extended that to a 43-point lead here at three-quarter time. They won their earlier match and in round 5 by 39 points. So we're at a similar margin, Brenton. Is there anything that you can see the Darwin Buffaloes could do actively in this last quarter to either bring the margin back, which is probably the most likely, or win the game?
Yeah, I think just a bit tighter through the midfield, more of those break even. So don't let Nightcliff get, sort of clear exits out of their middle and quick inside forward 50 entry. So I think if they can halve the contest a bit more like they did in that third quarter, they'll be okay through their midfield. I think some better entries going into Adam Sambona. We talked about the ball going over his head a couple of times. That quarter there, it dropped in front of him 2 metres short. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sooner or later it'll stick. If they can get it into him, he looks like he's up on the wing now. Sambono doing something. Oh no, there he is. I've got him mixed up with Stokes. So maybe just a bit more conversion from their forwards, and if their midfielders can halve the contest, and really I think their forwards have got to stop Nightcliff rebounding from defence.
Thanks, Brenton. SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse here this evening. Shannon Byrne, Brenton Toy and Dominic McCormack with you. This round 8 contest, a towards zero road safety round. We're about to get underway. Last quarter here, Marley McGregor lining up against Archard. Archard goes high, gets the first tap away. Ball goes to Sam Harper. Couldn't quite grab hold of it. Wilson can for the Tigers. Got a quick kick up towards Ryan Moo at centre-half forward. Board socket away from him by Kater Barla. Aaron Stokes on the charge, just completely ran over the footy. Politis is there, so too Seaton Kernoth. Finally, they grab hold of the handle. Ball comes to Jackson Clark, spins one way, then the other at half-back. Then the high up and under. Thomas Clark running for it. Nyhouse punched it away from him. In hard there was Sam Harper. Got the footy away to Nyhouse, to Wilson, to Politis. Good build-up into the corridor. Up towards Emery. Running hard at it now is North. Gathers the footy in the right forward pocket. Little snap, hits the post. A third of the way up. So first score on the board after 45 seconds for the Tigers. Luckily for the Buffaloes, it's only a minor score.
Quick kick in, finds the captain Jared Stokes. He goes to the outer wing. Number of players here now lining up. Sharples has it in right in the outer wing. He kicks it forward. Mark should have been taken. Drops short. Now the Nightcliff Tigers. They have a quick transition. They go on the outer wing. Sean Wilson has the ball. He goes for quick hands to Philo. Dropped the handball that should have been taken, but he's such quick hands. Gets it off to Harper. Harper to McGregor. Nightcliff Tigers under a mountain of pressure. Picked up on the left. Shot on goal. And it's Emery who is with 2 players around him, and Emery, well, is that Trent Melville? No. Trent Melville has picked up the ball, 2 Darwin Buffaloes players on him, and Trent Melville has kicked a goal 2 metres out from the goals, and this is just too easy for Nightcliff Tigers. It looked like he was not... There was no way, Brenton, he should have got that goal.
He's just a
Two
big,
players on him.
Just a big, strong unit. I think it was Stokes and Moroney down there, and again, just Melville just muscling and manhandling the opposition there, and really the Darwin Buffaloes defence should have done a better job of just clearing that ball over the line.
Trent Melville picks up his 5th, and that's the 12th for the Nightcliff Tigers this evening. Still a little inaccurate. They won't be happy with that. 12-10, 82 to Darwin Buffaloes 5-2, 32.
Ball tossed high. McGregor up against Archard. Archard wins it down. Cruising through Bradley Stokes. In fact, it was Jared Stokes. He paddled the ball in front of him really intelligently, was then tackled from behind and takes the free kick with the man on the mark. Nathan Russell at centre half forward. Jared Stokes now, his kick up towards a teammate, straight over the top of his head. The ball spills and goes to Thomas Bolsh in the right forward pocket. Tries to screw the ball around. Goal square. Gordon's there, manning up on Deary. Ball comes to ground now, fighting with it in the left forward pocket. Sambono does really well. In fact, it's Aaron Stokes. They got the handball away initially. Then Politis got it away. Jones just belted it forward. That goes to Sharples for the Buffaloes. Spins around, finds a player in the clear in Patrick Bowles. Haven't seen enough of him this evening. And he takes the mark for the Buffaloes 49 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle left of centre. Doesn't muck around at all. Goes back. Bombs away at goal. Will fall just short. Gordon went for the fly. Mistimed it, and it goes through for a behind.
Good to see he's recovered from kicking another foot late in that third quarter.
Had a bit of a stint down at Frankston, Dylan Gordon as well.
He's standing the mark. Sean Wilson just pokes it forward. Clever little kick. Finds a diving Regan. Regan goes down the commentary wing, looking for Emery. Emery not able to take the mark. Jared Stokes, the captain, with 0 on his back, goes into the middle of the park, finds the big ruckman in Archard. Archard gives a handball off. Now the ball down into the defensive area, the attacking area, kicked off the ground cleverly by Bolch after he dropped a mark. And Bolch has just seen the ball go through for a behind. So good pressure entry for Darwin Buffaloes. They pick up another point, but it's still Nightcliff 82 leading Darwin Buffaloes 34, 4.5 minutes gone, final term.
Daniel Bowles straight up the middle of the ground. Turnover taken by Archard. Goes to Patrick Bowles. Quick kick as he was being slung. Sambono tried to position himself. No mark taken down there by Deary. Bowles gets the footy away out wide to Nyhouse. Nyhouse picks it up. Little chip from him. Nice one too. Finds the big man in Nathan Russell. So Russell kicks out wide. Down centre wing finds Bailey Edwards. Edwards on the move. Handballs further forward. Goes to a teammate in North. North on the left boot now. Nice long kick inside 50. Moroney being manhandled by Melville. Melville gathers the footy. Tackled by Moroney. Did well. Pushes it through for a behind. Good contest on that occasion by Moroney. Did not allow Melville to get his hands anywhere near the footy. Did very well, because the Tigers had another 2 spares crossing the 50 uncontested as well.
It was 5 Tigers players and 2 Darwin Buffaloes players.
So for your tyre power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts, Nightcliff 83, leading the Darwin Buffaloes 34.
Bradley Stoke kicks it in, goes straight down the middle to Darwin Buffaloes Bowles. Clark was leading it, but he decides to run off Bowles. He goes down looking for Collinson. Collinson gets it behind Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown, who's on him, cleverly tapped back by Collinson. Picked up, put forward by Raymond into the right forward pocket, but it's Nightcliff Tigers who are going to mop up. Great pressure, though, from Gordon. And this is better pressure from the Darwin Buffaloes. Whatever has been said to them by Cameron Stokes, they're really showing some fight at the moment.
And I think that's the key, I think, for Buffaloes. That they're not going to win tonight's game, but if they can find some positives that they can pick out and try and replicate during the week and do more often next week, they'll be better off.
Archer wins the ball down to Collinson. Collinson, quick kick, fortunately, ends up in the hands of Patrick Bowles. 45 metres out from goal, just to the right of centre. Needs to go back and have a crack here, Patrick Bowles. Another player, Brenton, who's featured quite prominently for the Territory Thunder team across the number of years.
Yeah, lots of players out here have featured, and Bowles is one of those players that, you know, he's been up here for a few years, and in the last sort of stint of Thunder he was around.
Crosses the paint of 50. kicks the footy and kicks it really, really well with the right boot. That goes straight through for a goal to Patrick Bowles. So the Darwin Buffaloes on the board in this last quarter. They move on to 6-4-40. Nightcliff Tigers 12-11-83. Thanks to Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Just persistence there from the Darwin Buffaloes. I think young Tyrese Raymond getting involved. And again, it's really that when they get, some forward entry with not too much pressure on the ball carrier coming through the midfield, and it's quick and it doesn't allow the Nightcliff defence to get set up. Darwin Buffaloes look pretty dangerous down there. It's when they go slow that they really struggle.
Russell back in the middle for Nightcliff Tigers going up against Archard. Hope you're enjoying SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse. Wherever you're listening, it's a hot and steamy night here in Darwin in the top end of Australia. McGregor gets it, but it's kicked off the ground for the Darwin Buffaloes, going up to centre half forward, but it's rebounded all the way back into the middle of the park. Hurried kick out of the congestion is Collinson. He gets it up to centre half forward. Ball tapped back to Collinson. Quick hurry kick on the left foot. Gordon trying to pick it up. No one able to get it cleanly at the moment. Their captain, Jared Stokes, can. Ball down on the ground, and Nightcliff Tigers working overtime. Running through is that Bowles. Bowles for Darwin Buffaloes probably dropped it. Gordon gets it onto the boot. Hurried kick up to the top of the square, but Nyhouse for Tigers kicks it away, and they're going to clear out on the commentary wing through their captain, Philip Wills.
Nice kick it was too from Philo to Wills. Wills now finds Bailey Edwards. Just has not stopped running this evening. Handballs onto Philo. He's in the same boat, spins around, gets out of one tackle, then another, then just drops the ball nicely on the right boot and finds Jamie Jones at right centre wing. He unloads the long kick, looking for the targets down there. The big men fly. Harper couldn't grab hold of it. Jack Regan comes through strongly. So too does Bradley Stokes. Players crashing to the ground. Harper evades a tackle. Handballs nicely up to Emery. Was thumped away from him by McKenzie. Tigers gathering the footy, and a quick shot on goal from the pack is out of bounds on the full from Jess Buderick. So a free kick to be taken in the left back pocket for the Darwin Buffaloes. They just have to retrieve the footy first, and that they do from behind the goal. So scoreboard unchanged here at the 9-minute mark of this last quarter. Nightcliff Tigers 83, the Darwin Buffaloes 40.
Jackson Clark kicks it in. He goes right across the goal square to McKenzie. McKenzie kicks it down the commentary wing. Good mark from Sharples. He goes back into the middle of the park. Dropped mark. There's a lot of drop marks out here. Down on the ground and pushing the back. Collinson's going to get it free. They're still going down Buffaloes to play on. Beautiful, sharp delivery to Bradley Stokes. Running on was Bowles from Darwin Buffaloes. He kicks it forward. Down on the ground was Gordon. Goes back to Bowles for Darwin Buffaloes. Jones, though, comes through and just fists it away for the Nightcliff Tigers. Mucking around too much was the Darwin Buffaloes. Jones get a handball to Wilson. Wilson decides to switch play, and he goes to the right back pocket. And Nightcliff Tigers are going to get easily out of defence.
Geekus, a nice handball away to Deary. Deary out wide. Finds a teammate there in Buderick. Buderick at centre wing now. Kick up towards a teammate in Harper. Harper away to McGregor. McGregor untidily off the left boot. His kick just clean bowls Politis. He's slung away in a tackle by Collinson. Ball gathered there by Bailey Edwards. Somehow Politis gathers 15 metres out from goal. Just lopes in and kicks another for the Nightcliff Tigers. 13-11-89. They Darwin Buffaloes 6-4-40 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Your trusted tyre experts. 10.5 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Just far too easy there for the Nightcliff Tigers. The Darwin Buffaloes are nowhere near their opponent. I do not know how you can allow two Nichols medalists, Brodie Philo and Philip Wills, to just get uncontested possessions around the ground. I watched Philo pass it to somebody. He ran down the ground with nobody chasing him, got a second possession back, went and got it again. Like, that's just poor, undisciplined play by the opposition. You know that those players are, are dangerous, and you need to do your job to make sure you limit their influence.
Hope you're enjoying the SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse. My name's Shannon Byrne, Brenton Toys, your expert, and Dominic McCormack, all in the commentary as Archard gets a free kick. Archard got the ball down. The free kick is coming out of the middle. Umpire called it.
Collinson.
On Collinson. Philo, the man Brenton was just talking about, standing the mark. Collinson goes out wide to Jackson Clark. Jackson Clark puts it up to the lead of Holmberg. Ball's down on the ground, number of players around, and the ball's going to be tossed up 40 metres out directly in front. Archer Ruckman, he's been busy all night for the Darwin Buffaloes. He gets it down. Defensive kick out for the Nightcliff Tigers, but the free kick's going to go towards Aaron Stokes, who was tackled without the ball. He's on the attacking outer wing. He goes into the left forward pocket, just on the 50-metre arc.
Luke Roberts.
Luke Roberts runs around the man on the mark, goes into the middle, looks for Sharple. Sharples regathers after he dropped the mark, kicks it up and under. It's top of the square. Darwin Buffaloes now looking for another opportunity, and there is a shot on goal, but it's missed absolutely everything. No, it's gone through for a point, went that high, and they now are 41, but they trail Nightcliff Tigers 89.
Ball brought in by Nyhouse, who goes to Brown. Brown inboard to that man again, Brenton Toy. Brody Philo, yet another possession. Reels off a handball to the run of Sean Wilson. He's another one who can be put in that category. Long kick from him down towards half forward. Kyle Emery, yet another mark on his chest. Just a powerful player. Long kick down into the corridor, off hands. Jess Buderick takes it, has a bounce, strolls into the goal square, kicks another goal for the Nightcliff Tigers. 13.5 minutes gone, and they move from 13 goals to 14 goals. The Tyre Power scoreboard ticking over beautifully here for the Nightcliff Tigers. Kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. They are doing beautifully. 14-12-96 to the Darwin Buffaloes. 6-5-41.
He's been terrific there, Emery. Baylor did the right thing there to try and get in front. Buderick able just to get an easy one out the back. But look, that's only an indication of what's happening further up the ground. If Darwin aren't going to be more accountable and try and slow the influence of the Nightcliff, sort of midfielders, this is what they're going to be up against for the rest of the night.
Oh, they're playing well here, the Tigers, that's for sure. Ball back in the middle now. Russell up against Archard. One down. Both big men still scrambling for it on the ground, and the umpire says, I will have it and will allow you to do it all over again. SEN top-end footy here for Chemist Warehouse. They've battled hard all night. Russell wins it down on this occasion. Through comes Thomas Clark. Ball goes out wide. Aaron Stokes tried to pick it up, then didn't. Ball socket out wide to Philip Wills. One of the captains with the number 0 on the back. He handballs it out wide now to Thomas North. Long kick from him down into the forward pocket for the Tigers. And the ball will just go end over end and out of bounds in front of Mackenzie down there for the Darwin Buffaloes. It'll be a boundary throw in 30 metres around from the Tigers' goal, right forward pocket as they kick to the Michael Long centre end.
I know he's a creator, Mackenzie, but that's a concern for me. He doesn't have an opponent, and he hasn't had for most of the night. He's getting a lot of possession, which means there's an opposition spare floating around somewhere else.
McGregor and Archard. Archard wins it easily, taps it down, coming through and picking it up, scooting through for Nightcliff Tigers. That was a great piece of work there in the end by Edwards, but he missed it just to the right, and they pick up another one. They move to 96, while Darwin Buffaloes are 41. 15.5 minutes gone, final term.
Buffaloes bring the ball up towards half-back, but cut off immediately here by Daniel Bowles. Gathers, has a bounce, kicks untidily. Edwards can't handle. Mackenzie tries to clean up the ball close to the boundary line, and Jackson Clark couldn't quite pick that one up before it went over. So a boundary throw in right where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary. Players assemble. 15.5, almost 16 minutes gone in this last quarter. The ball tossed in well. Almost over the back there. Archer, I think, might have won that one down. Over the footy, Seaton Kunoth. Somehow it comes out to Bradley Stokes. Tries to go by hand to Aaron Stokes. Politis gets himself in there. Buderick charges through. So too Politis again. Ball gathered by Edwards. Politis cruising past, couldn't quite get it cleanly to him. Harper tackled on the ground, untidily so by Gordon. It was a high tackle. And then he's given away, with undisciplined play, he's given away a 50-metre penalty. So Harper will be marched all the way to the goal square and should pop through his first for the evening.
just sloppy with the first one there. Dylan Gordon just high and over the top, and then gave the opponent a bit of a shove after the first kick had been paid, and umpire's not tolerating any of that tonight.
Sam Harper been a really good player for the Tigers. Strolls in and they kick yet another goal from the goal square. 15-12, 102 the Nightcliff Tigers. Darwin Buffaloes 6-5, 41 thanks to Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Yeah, just starting to see, I guess, probably what we expected tonight. Nightcliff, I think Buffaloes have been great to keep themselves in it, but just that class of Nightcliff, and, I thought it was probably going to be a bit closer, but in reality, this is first versus seventh, and we're probably seeing a true reflection of their spots on the ladder right now.
After they trail by 22 at quarter time, 25 at half time, 43 points at three-quarter time. It is now a 61-point lead to Nightcliff Tigers. Archer wins the tap down, but Brodie Philo tried to pick it up. Ball ricochets back into the hand of the huge ruckman of Archer. He kicks a big up and under. Bowles sits under it, tried to mark it. Darwin Buffaloes, though, they move into their forward 50. Sharples tries to pick it up. He gives it off to Jared Stokes, who was running past, and he has a shot on goal, and it's gone to the right. So they pick up another point on Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts. It's Nightcliff Tigers 102 to Darwin Buffaloes 42.
Jamie Jones, a lovely kick right out wide, and he finds that man again, Daniel Bowles.
And who does he find?
Again, Brodie Philo with nobody on him, running through the middle. Player there in Roger Morris, fumbled initially, then handled well. Got the footy up to his captain in Philip Wills at left half forward. Tigers moving beautifully here. Speaking of moving beautifully, that's a wonderful kick. Trent Melville went to take the mark, got both hands to it, and then was absolutely crunched after the ball ricocheted away. Yet another free kick given away inside 50.
Yeah, didn't need to do that, Dylan Gordon. I think he might have thought that Melville was going to mark that and perhaps try and make him earn it. Ball slipped through his hands. Gordon still laid a tackle, didn't need to, and now Melville's got a shot on goal.
So, Trent Melville, he's kicked 5 goals so far in this game. 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in this last quarter. Can he kick his 6th for the evening? Right of centre. Kicks from 52 metres out is a big booming kick, and that has gone straight through the middle from Trent Melville. What a kick. He's used that new mark, that new rule where the man on the mark cannot move. He's used that magnificently, gained his distance, and Brenton kicked his 6th.
Very well picked up there, Dominic, and a few times we've seen that tonight, and I think we'll see more players and more clubs wise up into how they can sort of utilise and manipulate the rule to suit himself. But Melville just come in, he come in pretty close to the man on the mark, and just as he got close enough, stepped out to the right, and then kicked it before the umpire had called play on. So very clever by Melville, and good result. Spoke about their accuracy last week. The Nightcliff Tigers kicked 10 goals, 16, so a bit of an improvement tonight.
A little bit of an improvement. 16-13, 108, plays 6-6, 42.
Archer gets it down to Remfrey, but he's taken in a tackle by 2 Nightcliff Tigers players. Now it's a turnover. Nightcliff Tigers trying to go forward. They do. Clever little tap forward by Harper. Now it's Wilson. Gets it back to Harper. Harper goes into the right forward pocket in the lead of Emery. Ball just goes unbetween him, but the free kick, as you can hear there, is going to Bradley Stokes. Brenton Toy doesn't think it was there.
No, in fact, it's going to Emery.
Emery, yep. Yeah, so Bradley Stokes pushed him. And Emery is going to have a free kick, 45-degree angle. He's going to have to kick it just inside the paint of 50, which tonight is painted with a 500. Because this round, it's towards 0 road safety round. And 500 is the unfortunate number of Territorians that have been injured on the road this year. Emery crosses the 500 painted, goes for goal. He's got the distance, and he's just missed the accuracy, though. It goes to the right. They pick up another point. 16-13, 109 to Darwin Buffalo, 6-6, 42 on the tyre-powered, your trusted tyre experts scoreboard.
Lockie McKenzie bringing the ball back into play. Out wide looking for Sharples. Bounces off his chest. Dylan Gordon just ran past the footy and laid a tackle instead. Tigers pick up the footy and back in it goes again. Melville takes the mark just outside the goal square, sees a player in a better position in Sean Wilson and immediately honours that lead. Sean Wilson will kick on goal from directly in front, 15 metres out.
Yeah, great unselfish play there, but it was just the Nightcliff forwards that kept the ball in.
Sean Wilson goes back and just take note of that. That's one of those moments. Dead in front, 15 metres out. Wilson cannot believe it. Out of bounds on the full. He cannot believe it.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
No. Brenton can't believe it.
But I picked this up earlier, like just the difference between his approach there and someone like Kyle Emery. Emery goes back, comes in, he's deliberate, he's got purpose, he's got intent. That one there, Wilson just walked into it, and a few times tonight we've seen players just walk into their shots on goal.
And he was very quick.
Yes.
There was no calmness about it.
Well,
keep going, Shannon.
No calmness about the way Buffaloes are trying to get out of their defensive 50. They do. They're on the defensive side of the outer wing. Player runs around and kicks it into the man of Nyhouse on the mark, and the ball is going to go over the boundary.
It's a bit of a coach killer, that one, kick into the man on the mark. There's no real excuse. Get back, you know, get it on, get it in long. We've seen that far too often tonight, kicking into the man on the mark.
So boundary throw in now. Russell up against Archard. The ball out the back, finds the hands of Bowles. Long kick down to Melville. Couldn't quite take the mark. Off hands. Lachlan McKenzie gathers. Teammate in Bolch couldn't take the mark. Comes back to him. Nice little handball up to Remfrey. Can he find a teammate in Collinson? He can. Takes the mark very close to the boundary on the scoreboard side. Now looks to step around the man on the mark. Called to play on. Now he goes on his left boot. Up towards a teammate there in Bowles. Really come into it in this last quarter. They needed him much earlier. Took the mark. Now kicks up towards Aaron Stokes. He was put down, Bowles, after kicking the footy. Stokes has taken the mark. In fact, it's Tyrese Raymond. He took the mark anyway, but he was going to get the free in the corridor, and he should go back and kick on goal from about 45 metres out. Directly in front, Tyrese Raymond. He's tried hard tonight. Just needs to steady here. An opportunity for a goal. Few and far between. Kicks on goal. 45 metres out. Goal umpire doesn't move much at all. Straight through for a goal for the young man. Well done, Tyrese Raymond. His teammates all come to him. Must be his first goal in NTFL football. Well done to him. And the scoreboard, Darwin Buffaloes 7-6-48. Trailing the Nightcliff Tigers 6-13, 109. I should say 16-13, 109.
Yeah, good result there by Raymond. I think he might have come from Palmerston Magpies and might have debuted last year, I think, as a 15 or 16 or 15-year-old, I think. So good for him to get a bit of reward. I know it's not their night tonight in terms of the scoreboard, but as a young fella coming in, it's great to get a goal and get a bit of confidence.
So ball back in the middle, late in this final term, 25 minutes. Just ticking over here at TIO Stadium in the top end. Hope you're enjoying SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. McGregor wins it over Archard. Archard sits down on the ground. He's very slow to his feet. He's had a very, very busy night. Philo kicks it out to the right outer wing, attacking side, picked up by Politis. Politis gets it off to Sean Wilson. Wilson kicks it up to the top of the 50-metre arc, and an unmarked Geekus catches it. He goes quickly forward to Emery, who's on the lead, coming out of full forward, and Emery is able to take the mark. He's going to have to kick it directly in front, 30 metres, and that's very unselfish play there in the end by Geekus, who already has a goal in the second quarter, but he passed it off to Emery, who has a longer run-up than he actually has to kick it to the goals. Just crossing the 50 now. The man on the mark. So Emery, can he add to the scoreboard after the siren? Emery trots in, kicks it over the umpire's hat, and they pick up their 17th goal of the night, but more importantly, it's Emery's 4th goal for the evening as the Tigers song rings out. It's Nightcliff Tigers 17-13, 115. They've defeated the Darwin Buffaloes 7-6-48. And that tyre power has been busy, that scoreboard. Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts for the Nightcliff Tigers tonight.
exactly an unfamiliar theme song these days, with a few Tiger premierships down in the AFL too, of course. Well, the Nightcliff Tigers here, a very, very impressive performance by them indeed this evening. 22 points at quarter time, 25 points at half time, 43 points they led by at three-quarter time, and if my mathematics is correct, they have won this game now by 67 points over the Darwin Buffaloes.